Oh, good morning.
Oh, I'm yawning. Oh.
Right now, I'm sitting on the edge of my bed and, well, I've got bed head. My eyes haven't opened up yet, but in this video, I'm going to show you a day in my life to provide you with comprehensible input and show you what I do on a normal teaching day. When I get out of bed, I don't usually make the bed. But I do always leave a glass of water on my bedside table, so when I wake up, I down it. Now I'm a bit more rehydrated. I'm going to walk downstairs and first things first, I need to make myself a coffee. I've got two options of coffee capsules. We have strong espresso and we have a caramel flavored espresso. The caramel ones are probably tastier, but there's only 3 left. And they're the ones my fiance usually has, so I'm gonna save them. I know, aren't I kind? I'm so selfless, which is the opposite of selfish. So I'm going to grab a capsule. Here is my coffee machine. I'm gonna turn it on, open this little compartment, and put the capsule in. Now I need to find a cup. So let me open this cupboard, and here we have lots of cups and glasses. I'm going to pick this little one because, well, I normally just have an espresso. I don't have milk with my coffee. I'm going to press the button. Now you can hear the coffee machine and the magic is happening. Hallelujah! Now, some of you might be wondering, Lewis, don't you have breakfast? And the answer is no, I don't. I tend to fast, which means that I skip breakfast. And it's not for any health reason, it's just because when I wake up, I'm not that hungry. So I think, well, there's no point buying food, cooking the food, and eating. I like to try to be efficient with my time. So for breakfast, I only have 1, 2, or 3 shots of espresso. Cheers! Something else I should tell you is, well, I didn't just wake up. I've been awake for an hour and a half, more or less. Because first things first, I set my alarm and woke up at 7:30. Then I had my first espresso. I went to the toilet, to do a number 1 and a number 2. And then after that, I taught my first class. And actually, let me show you a little bit about my schedule. Here we have my laptop, my coffee. This is a touchpad, keyboard, the screen, and if I get closer, here you can see, well, Kajabi, which is the platform I use for my community. This is my community. ChatGPT, of course. My inbox, I have 2 new emails. This is my calendar. And here I have 2 lesson plans. And this week, I'm quite busy. And you see now, it's like 9:20. Yesterday, I had a total of 8 hours of meetings or classes. Today, I started with a one-on-one. This is my hour's break. Then I have another class and another class. Then I have a break here where I'm going to have lunch and maybe do some other admin work. Then I have a class with a regular law firm and a break to go to the gym, go for a run, or maybe just go for a walk. And then I have my group classes, B2, C1, B1, and B2/C1. So Tuesday is a long day. And of course, I live with my fiance, so I didn't want to start recording before she left the house because I woke up before her, then she took a while to wake up, get ready, get changed, do her makeup, and leave. So I thought, well, I'll start recording this from 9 o'clock. And if I already look a little bit tired, imagine how I must have looked an hour and a half ago. Scary to think, innit? Oh, I was just sending a couple of emails. I've got half an hour before my next class, so I'm gonna brush my teeth and have a shower very, very soon. But first, I'm sending some emails. What type of emails? Well, sometimes if I don't see a student for a long time, I will reach out to them and send them an email to see if everything is okay and if they want to continue classes. Other times I'll receive emails from different companies wanting to collaborate with me, which to be honest, I don't do a lot because I already sell my own classes and communities. But I'm a polite guy, so I make sure I always get back to them. You know, I respond to them or reply to them. Now I've sent a few emails, I'm gonna finish off my espresso and go to the bathroom to brush my teeth and have a shower. I've put my espresso cup in the sink, and here's another one that my fiance had earlier. I'll do the dishes a little bit later. Now, as you can see, I'm just sitting on the loo, on the toilet, and usually when I go to the toilet, I play on my phone, like most of us. I think everybody plays on their phone and scrolls up and scrolls down when they're sitting on the toilet. But when I do it, this is when I usually post my videos. I schedule my videos for the day on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and so on. So I try to be a little bit productive at the same time. Here is my toothbrush and toothpaste, and I'm gonna grab both of them and take them to the shower. This is a bath mat that has been drying, and now I'm just going to put it on the floor. That way I don't get the floor wet when I come out of the shower. And I like to kill two birds with one stone, so I brush my teeth whilst I'm having a shower. It's a bit weird, I know. But hey, I'm a weirdo. Let me turn on the shower, and now the water is running. For obvious reasons, this part I'm gonna keep it private. See you in a bit. All right, I've just got out of the shower and I've been drying myself using a towel. And now I'm all dry, I've just hung up the towel. And notice that here it's all condensated, which means that all of the steam has started to stick to the window and to the glass for the shower. Now I'm going to make my way to my wardrobe because it's time to get changed. And I'm going to open my cupboard and you'll see some shirts, some underwear, t-shirts, and trousers. Let's see what I'm gonna put on. There we go, freshly showered and changed, and I'm wearing my usual black t-shirt. Then something really comfortable. These little slippers, and these are sweatpants shorts. Really cozy, really comfortable. You see, I've been working remotely since the pandemic began, and initially I used to wear a shirt with pajamas on because people would only see the top of me on a video call. But now, to be honest, I prioritize comfort and I prefer to wear a t-shirt. Doesn't smell great. I think I forgot to put on some deodorant. Be right back. This is roll-on deodorant, but there's not much left, so I'm shaking it. And let's see. I'm rolling it on my armpits, but to be honest, I think it's run out. So here I've got some spray as well, just to make sure that I don't stink. There we go. Much better. I don't usually wear cologne or aftershave when I'm at home, but for the video, why not? I'm gonna spray on a little bit of aftershave. That smells better. Now, let me show you the weather right now. And FYI, for your information, I'm recording this on the 28th of October. This is the view from my balcony again, and you can see that it's cloudy, it's overcast, and we have some very, very dark clouds. So it seems like there are going to be showers today, meaning that it's going to be raining, then stop raining, then start raining again. It's a bit cold, wet, depressing. The clocks changed last weekend as well. So, yeah, the days are getting longer and winter is definitely coming. I've come to my little English corner where I teach the majority of my classes, and here's my laptop, which is resting on top of an old toaster box. You see? That is reusing and recycling. Or maybe it's just being stingy. I'm not sure. But that way, when I look at the screen, it's at a better kind of distance and level compared to my eyes. Time to start my back-to-back classes, 2 classes in a row. So, well, hopefully they go well, and I'll see you for lunch in a couple of hours. Ta-ra! And ta-ra is a nice way of saying goodbye, or see you later. Hello again. Well, my first student had to finish a little bit early, so in the meantime, whilst we're waiting, let me show you a little bit about my community. This is the platform, British English Immersion with Lewis, and here you can see the class timetable for B1, B2 and C1 groups, and anyone who joins can join one of these classes per week. And then if I scroll down here, you can access the classes, then you can see the homework, different groups, and after class, I always upload a document that people can review in order to go over what they've done in class. Given that right now I'm recording this the last week of October, I've just been preparing the topics for next month, or this month, November. You see, each week is a different topic. So in November, week 1, talking about connectors, week 2, about sport, week 3, about make and do, and then week 4, to coincide with Black Friday, we'll be speaking about shopping. I've got another few minutes till class, and I'm getting a little bit peckish, a little bit hungry. So I'm going to have a snack. I'm going to have a banana. So first, I'm peeling it, and then, well, I'm going to take a bite. I'm still a little bit peckish, but I need to wait an hour until I have an early lunch. Maybe I shouldn't fast, who knows? But before that, I'm going to open my freezer and I'm going to take out some sliced bread because it needs to defrost. Then, after my class, I'm going to make some kind of ham, cheese, and tomato toasty. To be continued. I've just finished my last class and now it is noon. It is midday, so it's time for a sarnie, or kind of like a toasty, because as I said, I'm hungry. I'm getting a little bit hangry, which is a combination of hungry and angry. So before I get too hangry, I'd better get a bite to eat. Here I've got my oven and I'm going to turn this knob and turn up the temperature to preheat the oven and then make my sandwiches. As you can see, this is no Michelin star meal. I've got a tomato, I've got some cheese, and I've got some ham. I'm going to slice some tomato, and I'm going to turn it into cheese on toast. So here we've got some slices of bread that has been defrosting, and I'm going to put some tomato, cheese, and ham on top to make, well, cheese on toast. During the week when I'm busy and working, I don't usually cook. I don't cook much anyway. I always make cheap, easy meals, and then in the evening I'll have a more nutritious and filling meal. The first layer, cheese. Maybe too much cheese, but there's never too much cheese, is there? Second layer, sliced tomato. Now I've finished the final layer of cooked ham. I know what you're thinking. Typical English guy with this boring, bland food. And yeah, sometimes I do eat better during the week, but sometimes I don't. So it's cheap, it's easy, it's simple, and it's tasty. So yeah, now I'm gonna put this into the oven for, 5 minutes. Closing the oven door, and that way the cheese will melt and it'll be nice and warm and toasty because it's cold today. And well, I finished these packets. They're plastic, so I'm gonna put them in the plastic bin. That way we can recycle it. And job's a good one. Bob's your uncle. I've just taken the baking tray out and I've plated up my cheese on toast. Well, I mean, nothing special, but it's satisfying. And I've got my laptop in front of me and I'm going to watch something on YouTube, or maybe I will go through the news on BBC. Oh, that's an interesting headline, isn't it? These robots can clean, exercise, and care for you in old age. Would you trust them to? I might have to read that. It's sparked my curiosity as I'm scrolling down to the main article. And it's time to dig in. Time to tuck in. It's tasty. I've just had lunch and I've just put everything in the sink. And now I'm going to do the dishes. I'm going to do the washing up. All done. And you may notice that it's a little bit brighter. Yes, the sun has come out. Well, the sun is shining over there, but over here, it still looks a bit grim, a bit depressing. Regardless of that, I'm still going to put my shoes on and head out quickly to go to the supermarket and buy some food. I'm sitting down and I'm sliding on my trainers and I'm going to pop out to the local supermarket, which is just around the corner. So I'll be back in a second. I'm grabbing my big coat and I'm putting it on. And as I said, I'm going to pop out. I'm going to nip out. So I'm going and I'll be right back. It sure does feel good to breathe a little bit of fresh air. Now I'm at the end of my road and in the middle of a square where you've got these little fountains. There's some grass over there. There's lots of bars all over the place in this area of Brussels. And yeah, there we've got the fountains. They're on. And I might sit down there and catch some rays. You see, that feels good. A little bit of vitamin D while I close my eyes and sunbathe. As you can see by my hair, it's pretty windy and it's a little bit cool, but it's not too bad. Personally, I prioritize getting outside once or twice per day because if not, working from home can be a little bit claustrophobic. All day stuck inside. That's interesting. On my little walk, there you can see a helicopter. Now I am entering the supermarket and I'm going to pick up a basket. Here we have some bread and pastry, but no, I'm not going to get any of that. Oh, and here we have some flowers, but no, I'm not getting any of that either. Wine is tempting, but unfortunately not today. We're going to make some stuffed aubergines this evening, so here's what I'm going to pick up. Aubergines, minced meat, cheese, and yogurts for something sweet. That's it, the quick shop is done. I picked up everything I need for my fiancé to make stuffed aubergines this evening, because we already have the other ingredients at home, like onions, tomato, garlic, tomato sauce, carrots. So yeah, I think we've got everything now, and time to head back home. I'm back home, and now I'm going to put away the things that I bought. In other words, I'm going to put them in the fridge. And now it's practically 1 o'clock, which is usually when I post my short video on Instagram. And when I post it, I often like the comments from the previous day and see if I've received any messages. And fingers crossed, touch wood, that today's video will be a successful one. I hope so. I'm just having a little lie down because I'm exhausted, I'm knackered, I'm shattered. I didn't sleep so well last night. I woke up in the middle of the night and it took me a while to fall asleep, which sometimes happens because I'm thinking about work, ideas, my mind becomes active at night, which is strange because I get tired, but my brain just keeps ticking. And knowing that I've still got another 5 classes and I don't finish today until 9 p.m, I'm just having a little relax, a little rest, and I might just close my eyes and maybe even have a quick nap. So I'll see you soon. Another rainy day in Brussels. Unfortunately, I couldn't fall asleep, but at least I relaxed for a little bit, and during that time, it's been raining a little bit. It started just drizzling, just spitting, raining a little bit. And then it started pouring it down, chucking it down, lashing it down, which means rain heavily. Now, it seems to have stopped. And, well, I've got a little perk me up, a little pick me up, which is my third and final coffee of the day. And you'll also notice that I got changed. I put on some sports clothes because I've got a class now with a regular student. Well, actually 2 students because it is a company class with a law firm. And then after that, if, fingers crossed, it's not raining, I'm going to go for a quick run. Maybe 5 kilometers or maybe 10. It depends how energetic I feel. But hey, cheers. It's time for class. See you in an hour. Alright, I've got my headphones on, I've got my sleeve here to go for a run, and hopefully it won't rain, and I can go for a nice 5 or 10 kilometers. As usual, I'm going to track it on Strava. When I go running, I try to run through parks. So this is the first park. And notice that the leaves have all fallen on the ground. While I try to stay at parks, of course, I live in a city, so there are some traffic lights. But now, I'm going to continue once the traffic light changes and keep running in the park. As you can see, I'm already a little bit sweaty. My cheeks have gone red, and I'm about 3 kilometers in. So I'm a bit out of breath, but not too bad. This is the biggest park near the centre of Brussels, and it's called Bois de la Camp, and there's a big lake in the middle. It's really nice and really handy that it's only like 3 kilometers from my house. But anyway, enough talking and more running. All right, I'm sweating. You can see beads of sweat dropping down my face, and I decided to stop. And well, now I'm gonna walk back home. So it's about half an hour, and walking is more relaxing. So I prefer walking, but I need to get fit. I need to get in shape, which is why I'm running at the moment. You see, isn't this such a beautiful park right in the center of Brussels with these autumn colors? And yeah, it seems to be brightening up. It's not quite as dark as it was half an hour ago. I've been talking to people about autumn recently as the clocks have gone back. And yeah, I think it's a beautiful season. You can see the colours as I'm in another nice park. And I'm about to show you a nice old abbey. There you can see the old abbey and church. And here this square continues with lots of little seats and benches where people can sit down and sunbathe when the weather's nice. Now I'm almost home. I'm just around the corner and I'm starting to get a bit chilly now that all of my sweat has dried up. So I'm gonna head home, time for a shower, prepare for my classes, and then I've got 5 classes in a row. But they're amazing students, so to be honest, I'm looking forward to it. Look, finally, more or less, the sun is coming out, but a storm is on the horizon. As you can see, I've made it back home. These clothes are a bit sweaty. I need to get ready for class, so I'm gonna jump back in the shower. Ta-da! I'm changed again, showered again, which you must be thinking, Lewis, you're so clean. 2 showers in one day, when usually I just have 2 showers in 1 week. I'm joking. I'm just taking the piss. I'm just pulling your leg. I'm just having you on. Now it is starting to get a little bit dark, so I'm going to turn on that light, and given that I have 4 classes in a row, 4 classes back to back, for my first class, I like to stand up and stretch, but I don't have a standing desk. So what I do is grab this big kind of stool or high chair, and then I put my laptop on top of it. So when I'm teaching, I can be moving and stretching. But of course, I'm not going to do that for all 4 hours. So after I finish my first class, then I will take my laptop back to my corner and, well, sit there and teach and speak about this week's topic, which is age and aging, until 9 o'clock. And then it will be time to completely relax, have dinner, sit down on my sofa, put my feet up, and watch a series to just disconnect and wind down at the end of, I think you'll agree, a long day. Okay, you might see that I look a bit tired now because, as I said, I've just taught 4 classes in a row. I've sent my students all of the PDFs, PowerPoints, so they can do their homework as well. And yeah, I'm starving. So I'm gonna have dinner, I'm gonna put my feet up and watch something on TV, and then go to bed in a couple of hours. Dinner is served. Here we have my stuffed aubergines with mincemeat, some different vegetables, tomato sauce, and roasted aubergine. In American English, they say eggplant. So yeah, now I'm gonna eat it, watch some TV, and properly disconnect. You see, I'm finally sitting up and watching TV on the sofa.